All right, guys, back here on the Fox 5 Live Zone. Producer Chris joining us with all things sizzling.
Put her there. That's how we greet each other,
Yeah.
right? Maybe a hug, maybe a side hug, maybe one of those bro hugs type of. Exactly. This story, on the other hand, what we're about to talk about here first, a little bit different, a little bit more intimate, if you will. We're talking about the premiere of Jurassic World Rebirth. Take a look at how this went down. That's Scarlett Johansson, that's her co-star Jonathan Bailey, and between them, a kiss on the lips.
That's what I thought I saw.
Yeah, and social media had some feelings about this lip lock, if you will. Scarlett Johansson is married. Jonathan Bailey, her co-star, is openly gay.
Okay.
So clearly they had no issues. There's not necessarily any sort of romance there.
Yeah.
Social media felt otherwise. They felt maybe it was a bit too far, a bit too familiar, if you will, especially because Scarlett Johansson is married to Ryan Reynolds.
Okay.
Now, we've talked about similar stories before. I don't know if you remember Michael Ealy and Megan Good, I believe. He picked her up and hugged her and kind of twirled around with her while Jonathan Majors stood there on the sideline. And a lot of people said, ooh, was that a, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously they know each other very, very well.
Yeah.
How do you...
I don't have a problem.
I don't have
if
a
you
problem.
look at it, because we kept on replaying it, she went in for the kiss. She took his head and then turned it in for, you know, him to kiss her. Or she kissed him. So I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it either. I think this is one of those instances, and social media does this from time to time, much ado about nothing. Now, what I would rather focus on in this clip is Jonathan Bailey's outfit. Now, this is a premiere. We have talked before about the discrepancy between men and women on the red carpet. Scarlett Johansson, obviously dressed to the nines in her dress. He is wearing a baseball hat, a, let's call it a sport coat, a blue shirt, and khaki pants. Now, there is a reason for this, and I just saw this also on social media a little earlier. They are saying that he is paying homage to some of the actors and scenes in the original Jurassic Park with his red carpet fit. So in one, he was wearing all black and sunglasses. That's your Jeff Goldblum, Dr. Ian Malcolm. This one, more of an homage to Dr. Alan Grant, who was the paleontologist in the group in the original movie and spent most of the movie wearing khakis and a shirt. Now his hat, this is key, his hat says Friends, and social media thinks that is an homage to one of the most famous paleontologists of all time, Dr. Ross Geller, aka David Schwimmer, from the TV show Friends, who was a dinosaur expert paleontologist in that show. If true, I absolutely love that. Those are the little touches sometimes that I am absolutely floored that social media, undefeated when it comes to like the detectives. They catch everything, and I am here for it.
I wonder if he came up with that or his stylist.
I wonder that as well. So often when there are those little tributes, whose idea it was, and if someone came to me with those sort of, absolutely, run with it, run with it.
Oh, that's funny. If we were to do that here at Fox 5, for let's say we're on
Now, I'm going to take you back a couple years, and I'm going to name drop some former colleagues who no longer work here at Fox 5. But one year on Halloween, the picture still lives out there on the internet. You can look it up. Allison Seymour showed up dressed as Tony Perkins, her co-anchor.
That's so funny.
And it was a riot.
Oh, that is so funny.
Mustache and everything. Sheer perfection. Sheer perfection.
Oh, good news, colleagues. That's funny. Matter of fact, as soon as we're done, I'm going to Google that so I can check it out.
It's great. We need a little mood music to set up this next story.
Let's
we're going to stick with movies. Hit it, producer Emmy.
I love that.
I mean, Academy Award winning soundtrack to the movie Jaws. John Williams, 2 notes, changed the course of cinema forever. Tomorrow, June 20th, marks 50 years since Jaws premiered at the box office. It is considered the first summer blockbuster ever.
Wow.
And absolutely changed movie going as we know it. At the time, earned just $7 million in its opening weekend. Went on to be the first movie to break the $100 million mark at the box office. Total global box office by the time it was done, $476 million. Today's money, that would be over $1 billion.
Easy.
The story behind this movie, just as great, honestly, as the movie itself. If you haven't seen it, sorry, spoiler alert. The shark doesn't show up until nearly an hour into the movie, maybe even more. And that was not on purpose. In fact, they were having issues with the animatronic shark from the saltwater where they filmed it off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. It kept breaking down. And so they felt they needed to just use suspense instead to establish a little bit of that terror.
Job.
Movie went on to earn 3 Academy Awards, none for acting, all for sound and music, like I said, with John Williams. A lot of kind of reminiscing now. The island of Martha's Vineyard has been celebrating for the past few months and will continue to. They have a lot of themed events, concerts, movie screenings. There's a new documentary out that's premiering, I believe, on Nat Geo. It is by Robert Zemeckis. Steven Spielberg is involved in it, really looking back at kind of the process of making this movie. It was based on a book. It was one of Steven Spielberg's first major motion pictures. He had done one real movie before that. He was only 27 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Peter Benchley wrote the first draft of the script. He's the writer of the original book. However, he said he wasn't really a screenwriter, so he brought in some rewrites. The actors, they wanted names, but Steven Spielberg didn't want stars. Roy Scheider, who obviously plays our police chief. Then we have Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper, our oceanographer and shark expert. Then we have the shark hunter, Robert Shaw, a.k.a. Quint. He actually helped write the scene you just saw there for a brief second, the monologue about his time on the USS Indianapolis, which was the ship that delivered the atomic bomb to Japan. It's based on a true story. He had a hand in crafting that monologue that was just one of the scene-stealing scenes of the movie, besides the shark, of course.
Yeah.
We're going to need a bigger boat.
Oh, God, that's
one
the
of the
favorite
most
line, yeah.
iconic lines of all time. Spawned 3 sequels, all garbage. I'm sorry, but it's
Really?
true. Steven Spielberg was not involved in any
all
of
right.
them. The second one was still set on Amity Island. Roy Scheider's back. It kind of tells the story of his son. The third one set at SeaWorld, Jaws 3D.
Yeah.
It was shot in 3D. The technology back then, not necessarily the best. Struggled. Also starred Dennis Quaid, I believe. Now, Jaws 4, I have a soft spot in my heart for. That one stars Mario Van Peebles as kind of a friend of the son of the original character in the first one.
Yeah.
Set in Jamaica. The mom from the first one is back. It goes a little overboard, but there's still some fun scenes in it. However, I have been scared to swim in the ocean
You and
ever
me both,
since
yeah.
I saw that movie, and not just me. It scared an entire generation of people out of the ocean as a result. It also, I don't think we would have Shark Week like we have now every summer for years, decades, generations, if it wasn't for this movie.
Well said. No, you hit the nail right on the head with that one.
You
Drop
can
the
check
mic.
it out, streaming on Peacock now if you want to check it out.
Good stuff. I'll do that perhaps later this afternoon.
It holds up.
It really did. It's a great movie. All right. Producer Chris with all things
Bruce
sizzling
the Shark. Fun fact. There you go. Bruce the Shark.
right here on the Live Zone. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.